And do you think we as fans and as well as Pundis and other journalists, do we cross the line when it comes to criticizing players? So hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Football with Priscilla. I'm Priscilla, obviously. So hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I just want us to talk about the Marcus Rashford, who I really am interview. But before we get into the video for today, make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and do turn your notifications on, ladies and gentlemen, to know when next I post a video. Okay, let's get into the video for today. Now, I know a lot of time has passed with regards to when Marcus Rashford, this interview or this article was released. I saw it on Twitter and I read who I really am. Rashford was like, you know what, I've been quiet in this time I spoke out. And like a lot of people have had a lot of different reactions. Granted, you know how people are, we always react differently. And I read that and I won't lie, I was sympathetic with Marcus Rashford. And I also understand where fans and people come from. Now listen, he said a lot of things. You guys can go ahead and read the article if you want. But for me, there are a few quotes, I think 2 quotes of his that stood out to me. Now, I've been wanting to have this conversation with a lot of people. I don't know about you guys, but like, I've heard remember the Dele Alli interview where he was going through things. Then there was also the Jesse Lingard interview where Lingard was going through things. Then there was also I watched the interview for Kevin Prince Boateng when he was being interviewed by Rio Ferdinand and whatnot. Do you think we criticize players that badly? Now we have Rashford coming out with that interview talking about, you know, like him as Marcus Rashford and the many attacks he gets. Now, this is one of his quotes, right? He says, "It can't just be about me as a 26-year-old lad on a night out or a lad getting a parking ticket. It's got to be about how much my car costs, guessing my weekly salary, my jewelry, or even my tattoos. It's got to be about my body language, questioning my morals, and speculating about my family and my football future." So listen, it was a long article, but this is the first quote that I got where I feel like Rashford really went in depth with his feelings. I feel like a therapist. But hey, so this is my comment. Listen. First of all, I'm going to look at it from a footballer's perspective, right? Because I feel like as fans, we don't, like, I think as human beings we normally don't, when it comes to celebrities and when it comes to sports people, athletes and stuff and whatnot, we normally ignore that these people are human. So when they come out, like when we attack them so easily because we forget that, oh, there's actually a human being behind that. When you listen to Kevin Prince Boateng talk about how sad he was, you listen to Dele Alli say he was sad, you listen to Jesse Lingard talk about his story and whatever's like the sadness he was going through. And Marcus Rashford obviously didn't talk about sadness and like depression and stuff, but you could tell like it gets to him. Now, I saw some fans' reactions to be like, oh, why is he coming out to say this? Or like, oh, just be good on the pitch. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, Marcus Rashford is 26 years old, right? Imagine, like, when you're in your 20s, right? Like, we're in our 20s. You're building your life. You're making mistakes. You're learning. The difference between celebrities and us and like these athletes is they're building their lives, they're making mistakes, and they're learning in the spotlight. Marcus Rashford goes out clubbing after Manchester United loses or something. It's a big news. If I fail a test and I go out clubbing, no one cares. They'll just be like, oh, no one literally cares. Maybe my parents will be like, excuse you. Like, first of all, I don't even go out clubbing, but like my parents will be like, what's going on? Have you gone insane? I'm just saying, right? But for these people, it's like everything is in the limelight. And I get when people come out and say, why did he have to do an interview? Why did he have to say this? I think it's human to do so. He's human as well at the end of the day. We are all human at the end of the day. We have bad days, we have good days. I think there's a thing in our heads where we fail to separate Marcus Rashford, the player, which I get, and the person. There's a human being behind Marcus Rashford 10, MR10, right? Sometimes, yes, we're justified in criticizing when his body language is not right, when he's not playing good football. I think we're justified as football fans because at the end of the day, we don't really hate Marcus Rashford, the person. Like, we're not attacking Marcus Rashford, the person. We're attacking Marcus Rashford, the Manchester United player. Like, about his personal life, we don't really care that much. Like, it's not that deep. But like, I do get when a person in the limelight pushes back. But and then again, you can't win because if he keeps quiet, people attack him. If he speaks out, people still attack him. Now he talks about the fact that he's attacked for when he goes out, about his dressing and about his jewelry, his cars and everything. I will say this, there are not many fan channels. Okay, I don't watch a lot of fan channels. I watch the United View, I watch the United Stand, and I watch sometimes Stratford Paddock, and then I also watch Five, the Rio Ferdinand thing. Yeah, and I've never really heard people go like, even in the comment sections, oh my god, look, he's wearing jewelry worth 200 and whatever, he's wearing Louis Vuitton. Like, for football fans, I think that's not our thing. Like, I don't care who Marcus Rashford is dating. I don't care what outfit he's wearing. I don't care like what he's doing in his personal life. I don't think that's a football fan world. Like, that's a celebrity kind of world. Like, for musicians and actors, people care about who they date, what they are wearing and everything. But like, when it comes to football players, like, we don't really care. Like, very few people do, and most people that do are actually journalists because they want to sell a story, because they want to sell something, then they attack the players in that way. But like, for legit football fans, I don't even know who Marcus Rashford's girlfriend is at this point. Like, I don't even know half of his life. I don't even know where he's from. All I know is Marcus Rashford is a Manchester United player and he's number 10. And he came from the academy. Like, I don't even know his personal life. So I say all this to say I get where they're coming from. I am empathetic of people who are in the limelight. And I know most people are not. They're like, oh no, they choose this life, they choose this career, blah, blah, blah. But like, imagine you have a passion to do something, but the only thing is that thing that you want to do is that you have paparazzi following you, is that you'll be in front of the cameras 24/7. It should not be a crime for you to love football. It should not be a crime for you to have a passion and want to play football. It's sad that unfortunately we're in a world where we've started making football players like they're singers and musicians. People want to know what they're doing, who their kids are, where they're working, who they're talking to. Like, it's sad. I don't think football should cross that line. I think football should be about just football, right? People are trying to drag footballers and athletes into the singers and the musicians and the actors. That's not where the athletes are. Athletes have always been about their lives on the pitch or on the court, and it ends there. What happens in their personal life, very few people know, right? So I think people need to be empathetic in that, even though you think Marcus Rashford's interview was not good for you or you don't see the sense. For people who are like, why did he do the interview? I get it. People are like, he shouldn't have. For me, I'm like, listen, do you, if he feels that's his way of relieving himself from a lot of things, let him do that. It's okay. I think it's okay, right? I honestly think he's okay. He wasn't bashing anyone. He was talking about himself. It's different from the Cristiano Ronaldo interview where he was talking about Manchester United, bashing Eric Ten Hag, etc. But Rashford was just talking about it from his perspective, right? Then now let's look at it from the fans' perspective, right? The fans, I feel for Marcus Rashford, I don't know if he's talking about the fans, or he's talking about the journalists, because there's a difference. Football fans really don't care about Marcus Rashford's personal life. Maybe they'll be offended if, like, right now Manchester United has lost, right? And then we see him clapping. Maybe that will be like, oh, dude, it doesn't look good. Like, because we have that attachment. But for the most part of it, people don't care about Marcus Rashford's personal life. Like, they just want him to do well on the pitch. For Marcus Rashford, I think football fans who genuinely love football, we don't attack you. We don't attack you personally. We don't come for your family. That's a line that I think genuine football fans don't cross. We understand there's a difference with Marcus Rashford, the human being, and Marcus Rashford, the character that is the football player. We only want to see you get well. We want to see you, we want to talk about body language. We want to see you pressing. We want to see you intense. This is not the first time we've watched Rashford as Manchester United fans. We saw him come out of the academy into the first team under like Van Gaal, and we've seen Rashford at his highest and we've seen him at his lowest. So I don't think it's fair to attack fans when they see you at the lowest. They just want you to get back to your best self. And maybe sometimes fans don't come out in a very good way. Sometimes they insult, sometimes, they're those fans that are just crazy, that go all the way towards as far as racism, right? But they're those fans that actually have intellectual and good criticism. And I don't think, maybe Rashford was talking about those that actually would be like, oh no, he wasn't running here, he could have scored there, he should work on his shooting, he should work on his passes. Like, those are the things. We'll be like, Rashford, don't be selfish, Rashford, pass the ball, Rashford, don't shoot anyhow, Rashford, work on your free kick. I think there's nothing wrong with that. But like, any fan that goes ahead and attacks his family and attacks his personal life, then that's not a genuine football fan. Because football fans generally don't talk about personal lives. Like, we have a boundary that we shouldn't cross. Here's another quote from Rashford. So Rashford says, listen, I'm not a perfect person. When I make a mistake, I'll be the first one to put my hand up and say, I need to do better. But you're ever questioning my commitment to Man United, that's when I have to speak up. And I remember I made a video where I was like, listen, I honestly don't think Rashford, like, has reached a point where he doesn't care about Manchester United. I don't think so. This is a guy who played in the academy. I am all the way in Africa, right? I started watching Manchester United like when I was 10 years old. And yet I'm so attached. Like, I think we're in a toxic relationship with Manchester United to a point where they can lose 20-0 and I'll still be a fan. Now imagine Rashford, who grew up in and around that area, played and he keeps on playing for Manchester United. To say he's not committed to Manchester United, I think that's not true. I'm saying this and I'm a football fan. What more if you're a football player who's grown, been raised in the Manchester United system? So I understand where he's coming from. I think and I believe he loves Manchester United. But I also think there are times in life where we outgrow certain places. It's not that we hate them. I think it's just time that we move. And I think for Marcus Rashford, it's not bad, Rashi, to be like, I love Manchester United, but I need a different challenge. That doesn't mean you hate Manchester United. It just means you need a different challenge. Like, I don't think he should be hard on himself to be like, just because I love Manchester United, I have to stay here. Harry Kane loved Tottenham, but he had to leave, right? So even Rashford, if he decides to leave one day in the future, it's not like he's not committed, and I don't want people to be like, see, we told you. It's because sometimes you outgrow it. Doesn't mean you don't love it. It just means you need to move on. Dele Alli, Jesse Lingard, Kevin Prince Boateng, Marcus Rashford. There's so many footballers. If they came out with their stories and they say, and they had to talk about how sad they've been. Some have been depressed. Some have been in their dark times. Now, for some reason, okay, for most human beings, we think when you have money, you're happy. Like, it's automatic, you're happy. Like, if Rashford came out and complained, we'd be like, dude, you make this amount of money. Why are you sad? But that's not life. Like, in life, you can have all the money, but emotionally, you're not okay. Like, emotions just come at you, right? So if more footballers talked about how they felt, I think we would never really understand because we're not in their shoes. And I think people would be like, oh no, they're looking for sympathy or something. But that's their experience. You can't ignore someone's experience. You can't look down on football players' experience. I believe they do go through dark times. I believe they do get depressed regardless of the money, the cars, and the jewelry. They do go through that tough time. Every human being on planet Earth goes through it, whether you have money or whether you don't. Difference is they have money faster than the rest of us, right? And their lives are like for everyone to see. Like, they're in the limelight, literally. Every mistake, everything that they do is there. But that doesn't mean, it doesn't take the human aspect from them. And I think the more you nitpick, the more you say, oh, Rashford did this, or Jesse Lingard did that, or Dele Alli did that. It's like you're trying to take the humanity from a person. And this is why we end up having people that are just going wild, stripping them off of being human and asking them to be something that is not human, to be perfect. That's not humanity. Like, to be human is to fall and to learn. You can't reach perfection, right? That's not ours. Ours is not perfection. We're always learning each and every day. So listen, I think it's not fair for people to take away Marcus Rashford's experience. I think it's not fair for people to take away footballers' experiences. And I like that they speak out sometimes. And I get why people get frustrated, because they want to see Rashford speaking on the pitch. Like, they want to see him performing on the pitch and not speaking words. But if he feels like he wants to speak, I think for me, let the dude speak. Okay, let the man speak. Let him let it out, and maybe that's good for him. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's the video that I had for you guys today. I know most people will not find this video interesting, but I think we should have conversations about football players and how we as fans sometimes cross the line. Like, there's a thin line between criticism and just hate. And I think Harry Maguire experienced criticism and hate. And a lot of players have experienced that. And I think sometimes it's not fair. For me, I do feel bad sometimes. I'm like, okay, have I gone overboard with how I'm analyzing this person? Because you don't want to strip them of their humanity. Let them live. Yes, they're footballers. We love them. We love Manchester United. I want Manchester United to win all the trophies. But let's not forget that there are human beings that need to play for Manchester United to win all those trophies. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I had for you guys today. I think a conversation about football players and how they feel should be had, and I think a lot of people don't want to have that conversation, but hey, maybe in the future, one day. So yeah, so that's what I had for you guys today, and that's my take on the Marcus Rashford article. Who am I really? So yeah, so you guys do comment down. What do you think? Do you think as football fans we go overboard in our criticism? And what do you think? Do you think maybe players, when they come up with some interviews like these, they just want sympathy, they don't want to work hard? Give me your thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So yeah, so that's all I had for you guys today. Thank you so much guys for watching. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and do turn your notifications on, ladies and gentlemen, to know when next I post a video. Bye.